We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, today I will discuss about some IELTS writing, and it is a book in a PDF format and contain a guide to writing high quality IELTS essay, and author is Dr. Bruce A. Smart. I like this book very much because uh, the aspects of this book is very good. Students may learn a lot of things regarding how to write, how to form a perfect essay for the examinations like IELTS and the TOEFL and GRE. So here is the table of contents of this book, and in that we will see about the different topics and different level of thinking that how the different words contain different detailed descriptions of a different topic. So let's directly start to that main body of this book. So this is about the author, and the Bruce Smart holds the PhD and a graduate diploma in the modern language from University of Melbourne, Australia. And this is introduction. From the introduction, we will see about the different thing about the writing, how we can improve the writing, and how we can form the particular essay for different topics that a student may not aware about that. And there are many forums providing simple essays for IELTS academic writing. The majority of these provide samples that are written uh, to a moderate standards, and in many ways are unrepresentative of typical essays that students produce in exams, because they contain very few grammatical errors for essays with standards. Now we will see about all this thing that how we can form a perfect essay out of that. And for the particular thing, why there is an language, the students should understand about the purpose of writing, because this will give students an idea of how they should be constructing essays simply. The purpose of writing is to communicate information, and that is very narrative, in the sense that the communication in the form of writing is a kind of mechanism by which that information is communicated. And it is important the students should understand the why writing is there. Many students focus almost exclusively on grammar and vocabulary and fail to consider the primary purpose of their writing. Now, this is very important. They aim to use complex vocabulary and grammatical structures when they are not required, which leads to non-standard use of language, lower quality communications, and an increased number of errors. Now, this is important because majority of students are focusing on the complex language and more vocabulary, advanced vocabulary, and this is not the prime focus of the students should be. And they have to communicate in a clear and concise fashion. That is the main focus of the student. Why there is a writing. A quality essay's primary feature is that good ideas are well presented. An IELTS examiner will spend a very short time of period of time on each essay and read that essay once only. The largest risk for IELTS student is that the examiner becomes so confused about meaning or the direction of the essay. If this occurs, the writer is unlikely to score band 7 or more, irrespective of the quality of the language used. Similarly, an essay that the examiner can read through once and clear on meaning and direction of the essay will usually score band 7, even if there are many grammatical and vocabulary mistakes. So this is the important thing, because the meaning and the direction of the essay will usually score band 7, that is important, because by use of the complex language and the advanced vocabulary, this is not an effective tool for getting higher band. But the irrespective of, on contrary, we can say even the simple language and the without any grammatical mistake, uh, if the direction is clear, then there is no worry about the grammatical and vocabulary mistakes. Now we will see about the uh, several strategies and hints for IELTS writing. And the purpose of this section is to help students develop strategies to assist their writing and includes common mistakes. And it is divided into three parts: grammar, vocabulary, and idea generation. So we will see about the grammar hints, what we will use for the grammar. That in that keep the grammar structures as simple as possible. That is the base strategy for the students we can use, or even for me also. Whenever I am writing any kind of sentence, if I am using the more complex sentence, then definitely the meaning of that sentence will always run out of the ideas, or the direction of the essay or the language will change. So this creates a kind of confusion. So keeping the language as simple as possible aids communication and helps avoid confusion. This is most important thing, because whenever there is a writing is there, if the student is using more complex or grammatically advanced structure, then there is a chance that there is a mistake. So to avoid this kind of mistakes, students should use uh, simple structure. Unnecessary complex grammar can confuse native speakers because it is not standard language. This is particularly true if the vocabulary used is not precise, and that is the important thing. If the even the Indian student can use the advanced vocabulary, but if the foreign speaker cannot understand this, then how there is an effective communication? That is again a major question. And if a student confuses the examiner, it will have a significant impact on their score, and that is again the important thing. Now there are several tricks like passive forms. For example, the environment is very important to us because it provides many of the things that we need. Now, this can also be written as the exam. The environment is very important because it provides many necessities. Now, uh, this kind of uh, thing that, like here the underline is us and we, and we can combine together and to produce the environment is important because it provides many necessary. Now to shortening of the sentence is also necessary, because if we short the sentence, the meaning of the two sentence that use the conjunction because we can reduce to the one sentence, and this provides additional informations, not the additional information, but the in one sentence we can produce a diverse more meaning out of that. Use plural forms. In students will usually be writing about general ideas, and therefore plural forms without an article should be used. For example, in many cities around the world, traffic jams present major problems to commuters. It should be noted that each traffic jams, major problem, and commuters are plural, and uh, none have the an article in front of them. So it again means a kind of communicate. Uh, so this is the kind of thing that the students have to recognize. Like in academic essay, students will use be writing about general ideas, and therefore plural forms without an article should be used. And this is the example form. Now plural form without the articles, and this is the important thing to note down. Use simple past and present tense. Now, for example, in the 1940s, in the UK, only 8% of students attended university. Now, in the simple past tense, the ed form should be used for the main verb. Now, this is the thing, and the students may confuse these kind of sentences, and it is important that if the sentence in the simple past, then use the ed form of the verb, and this is necessary uh, to describe these kind of sentences. Okay, the next thing, the task to essays are usually concerned with the current issues. The subjects are events that were occurring in the past, are occurring now, and are likely to continue to occur in future. Now this is the thing, the time period is there, and for the current issues the most of the questions are there. If the event is continuing, use the present form for the main verb. For example, the most western countries students expect that they will have the opportunity to attend the university. For secondary verbs, in the infinitive, infinitive means to attend. Now here, in front of the verb attend, we have to add the to, that is infinitive. And gerund form is ing form. Attending should generally be used. Now this is the thing that the student should focus on that. A common mistake that students make is to confuse the two forms and add to in front of the ing form of the verb. Now this is the important thing the student have to note down, because there is a common mistake about to attend, and if we add the to attending, now this is the mistake that the majority of the students are making. And I think uh, by uh, by understanding that infinitive and gerund form, the student can understand the sentence out of that. Misuse of pronouns. Pronouns are replacement words that must refer back to the particular person or object. Therefore, pronouns always have an antecedent, that is noun phrase previously used in the same paragraph that the pronoun replaces. In other words, they reference some other part of the text. A common mistake is that pronoun has no antecedent, and the writer assumes that the reader understanding their meaning. Using a pronoun without an antecedent presents a significant problem, as it can leave readers confused and causes a failure of the communication. A further problem that may arise with antecedent occurs because of ambiguous referencing. This means that the pronoun could logically replace more than one noun. A simple example for this is, after the minister and a senior bureaucrat. Bureaucrat means a government personnel. Met, he decided for education was insufficient to meet the needs of society. Now, in this sentence, it is not clear who the he refers to, the minister or the senior bureaucrat. In this sentence, most readers will understand that it is probably the minister, that is the intended antecedent. However, that is unacceptable language as the writing must be logical, unambiguous. The sentence should be written as follows: After meeting with the senior bureaucrat, the minister decided that the budget for education was insufficient to meet the needs of society. The most significant problems occur when the ambiguous use of these and it is there. Unlike problems with articles, misusing these words is likely to result in a significant penalty. The reason is that the examiner is likely to become confused because meaning and or logic, which is most fundamental part of the writing a good essay, to avoid problems with these and it, the following steps should be taken. Pronouns must uh, only replace a single word or a simple noun phrase, not a phrase or idea. Pronouns must have a antecedent in the current sentence. The antecedent means must be the exact noun or a noun phrase being replaced. That must be no change of ambiguity. If in any doubt, students should not use pronouns. This is a there is no penalty for more complete explanation. The incorrect use of pronouns is very dangerous because it can confuse the reader. However, using the noun and or noun phrase instead of pronoun will avoid any problem. There is a simple tip is there. This is what: avoid using pronoun unless certain that there can be no ambiguity. So avoid using pronoun. There is a simple tip. A further problem occurs when a noun is used many times in paragraph. Now this is the important. In such cases, student will often use a noun the first time it is used, and for the all subsequent uses replace the noun with the pronoun. This is dangerous strategy because the reader may not be paying careful attention or could become disastrous uh, and forget what the original noun was. This may cause the reader to become confused because who and what is being referred to and affect the quality of communication. When a noun is used many times in a paragraph, it is far better to replace noun with a pronoun on every second now here some articles are there like a and the no article. Articles are one of the most common sources of error and problems are difficult to avoid because articles are used often and there are many exceptions in their use. However, using the table below as a guide, we will that allow the student to reduce the number of errors to an acceptable level. Now, the main focus of the students should remain that reduce the error maximum as possible. We are making the mistakes, but out of that we have to learn something. So here are some of the ideas where we will see about that how we can reduce the number of errors in the writing. Now article A and N, that is if the singular form of the verb subject verb agreement is there, then we can use in general we can use one of many. The is for singular, plural, and specific we can use. For specific type of noun is there, then we can use. It is clear which one you are talking about. Okay. No article for singular you can not use, but you can use for plural. No article and for general, speaking, writing in general terms. Yeah, and this is important where you can use the bare infinitive. Sorry, not the bare infinitive, but the bare article. Sometimes this is referred to as. The aim should not be to remove every error with the articles, but to remove the majority of errors. Now, this is important. The student have to remember. A good essay will usually cover general ideas, so in most cases, the no article plural form will be required. And the most common error is to introduce the article when general information is being provided. So for the general information, the student may not may, but should introduce the article. Vocabulary is the most fundamental part of the essay writing. Now, whatever the vocabulary that we are using, student can have the advanced vocabulary too, and but the base tip is use vocabulary that is natural. Do not upgrade, and that is the most important thing that student have to remember. Because whenever there is a writing is there, we can use the advanced form the vocabulary, but if the meaning is not there, the reader may confused, and this is the error. This is the error in writing. Vocabulary is a very important part of the IELTS writing. Now I'm speaking about IELTS. Why I'm speaking about the IELTS? Because in IELTS, because of the IELTS, we can improve our language if we are booking the date and something like that. And it is important. It is not for the IELTS. It is for the examinations, like for GTU examinations also, even the TOEFL examinations also, and any other kind of examination also. If we are writing something, that we have to know about what is that writing. Okay, but students generally do not understand what constitute good vocabulary. Precise vocabulary rather than the use of rarely used word is good vocabulary. Good vocabulary use occurs when students express ideas precisely and in a standard way, similar to educated native speaker, which means using standard phrases and collocations. Words now collocations are the combination of words like wise choices, unreasonable demands, alcohol consumption. By using standard vocabulary, students essay can be more easily understood by the reader, so that they understand how language is used correctly and allow the writer's meaning to be communicated effectively. Vocabulary is assessed based on how words are used rather than what words are used. Now, this is the important thing, how words are used rather than what words are used. Now, sometimes it may happen that we are using the excellent vocabulary, but the meaning out of that is not producing. If the student use the simple vocabulary also, they will effectively direct the essay in a particular way. So, excellent vocabulary use is often incorrect students to mean writing essays that have many complex words. Very often, students attempt to impress examiners. Now, this is important by using complex words, and the result is almost always that instead of using a simple correct word, they use a complex word incorrectly, and that is the important thing that students have to know about. They show the examiner that they do not fully understand the words that they are using. Furthermore, no words in any language have exactly the same meaning. If they did, one of the words would quickly fall into disuse. And changing a choice of voice vocabulary always means that the meaning of the sentence has also been changed. Now, the student have to understand that the synonyms does not mean that they have the same meaning. Here, that is indicated. No words in any language have exactly the same meaning. Okay, so instead of that, we are using the different word with the same similar meaning. Even though we are changing the meaning of that, the student have to understand about that. And an additional problem with attempting to use more complex language is that incorrect usage often confuses the examiner. When an incorrect choice of word is combined with the other grammar or vocabulary mistakes, the writing becomes very difficult to understand. It is a failure on the part of student to communicate it well. And if this occurs, a student will receive a very heavy penalty, and it will ultimately usually exclude them from achieving a score of band 7 in writing. A further problem with attempting to use more complex vocabulary than is necessary is that chosen word will not be consistent with the usual writing style of the student. Okay, and will lead to cohesion problems. Now, this is again a cohesion problem. Cohesion means how the different sentences are connected with each other, whether the topic that you are given with is and the ideas it is produced by the student is consistent with the. Now this consistency means according to the direction, means directly headed to the topic or not. This is a cohesion. Furthermore, native speakers do not aim to impress people with their vocabulary, so any attempt to use more complex language will lead to non-standard uses. Now, this is also an important. Students should always aim to use the language that is familiar to them. Students should be reminded that there are many examples of great literature, such as George Orwell's Animal Farm, that uses very simple vocabulary. It is the quality of ideas and the effectiveness of the communication that create very good pieces of writing. Native speakers use very complex vocabulary only when they are seeking to achieve a very exact meaning, and this only occurs when they are writing complex arguments or detailed descriptions. Okay, this is the point the students have to remember. When words are rarely used, it is because they have very precise meanings and therefore should only specific circumstances. This makes them very difficult to use correctly, and it is typically only highly educated native speakers who use the complex vocabulary. Now, this is important thing because complex sentences, a complex word, they are not usual, they are unusual. They are coming very rarely in the sentence, and whenever there is a need of that word, only that circumstances they will appear in the sentence by the native speaker, or there is no alternative for them. Language variation. Many students are taught to vary their language. This is not necessary except perhaps at the IELTS band 8 to 9. Now, the students they are acquiring very high band and often leads to problem. The focus for students should always be to communicate it well, and varying language often does not lead to better communication and sometimes causes problem. Often students will vary their language naturally to good effect. However, students should not change a work purely to achieve variations, as this can cause problems because sometimes there is no reasonable alternative for a word. A good example is the word children, which comes up as a subject in many IELTS essays. In order to achieve variations, many students will replace children with kids, which is far too informal. Now, here we have to consider that the children, if we are replacing the word children with the kids, that is become informal. Now, what is the formal and what is the informal? Formal means the official standard language, that is means without the slang language or something like that. The informal means the daily routine words that we cannot use in the writing. For example, the sample as a moral teaching for students, the word children is used 20 times. Students should only vary language if there is a clear alternative. Often there is no acceptable alternative. Repeating a word many times does not reduce the quality of communication and will not lead to a lower score. Now, this is also the students has to remember. Commonly, you misuse words. Now, there are many words the students are generally misusing. A few of them, efficiency and effectiveness. The efficiency is much overused word in essays and should usually be replaced with effectiveness, and efficiency is how quickly or smoothly an event occurs. It refers to how good the final result is. For example, John completed his work in a highly efficient manner. However, he would be more effective if he paid more attention to detail. It is worth noting that in most cases, people are more concerned with the effectiveness than efficiency. Effectiveness is a word that is a marker of quality for examiner. It is rarely used, and its correct use will often draw the attention of examiner. Now, this is also very important. It is rarely used, and its correct use will often draw the attention of the examiner also. Here, what we have the effectiveness means refers to the how good the final result is, and efficiency is how quickly or smoothly process is. So here the example is John completed his work in a highly efficient manner. However, he would be more effective if he paid more attention. Now, effective here, what the effective belongs to the final result, and here in the first sentence we are talking about his work, and that is highly efficient, and this is the correct use of that two words, effective and efficiency. Knowledge, learning, thinking, and skills. Now, knowledge is overused word in this case. There is a key cultural difference between the developing and developed countries, which causes the overuse of knowledge. In developing countries, education is focused on obtaining knowledge, so students will choose this word correctly because based on their understanding. However, in the West, the education system is based on idea and skills development, resulting in native speaker rarely talking about the knowledge. Now, this is the important thing. Students should always generally seek to replace developing knowledge with the word thinking, skills, and learning. This is the thing that the students may include or should include. Enhance, improve. Enhance is arguably the most misused word in essays and should always be avoided. And enhance is the most commonly used in advertising. It is emotive rather than objective, which makes it unsuitable for use in academic writing and is most correctly used in describe additional features, not making things better. It should never be used as a synonym for improvement. Okay, an improvement is simply to make things better. It is a very common word, and can be repeated a number of times in the essay. And enhance is most commonly used for advertising, and it is emotive rather than objective, which makes it unsuitable for use in academic writing. Drugs, medicine. Now, drugs and medicine are commonly misused words in essays because drugs are very wide meaning, that is much wider than in many other language. A drug is any substance that has the ability to modify the physiology of any species belonging to the animal kingdom, while medicine has a much narrow meaning when referring to drug. It is used for drugs that are beneficial and when referring to individual drugs. The correct usage is complex and generally should be avoided in favor of more general words. It should be noted that correct word for company that manufactures drugs medicine is drug company, not a medicine company. So company can be a drug company. Popular common. Popular is commonly misused word in essays because it has a narrower meaning in English compared to other words. Popular is most commonly used in fashion and entertainment, while uh, common is a general term, and the use of popular often implies is that something is in the fashion at moment, but is likely to go out of the fashions in nature in the future rather than become a permanent change. and that is the important thing. However, going to university, having a mobile phone or a car, or driving to school rather than walking, riding, these all are common, and it is encouraged to use popular in these cases. Children, kids, okay, that we already discussed before. Punishment, same thing, punishment and discipline. The purpose of punishment is to cause the pain to people who have behaved badly, and the language for the discipline, the children should be disciplined and never punished. Now this is for the children. For children, the aim is always to teach, and therefore children should be disciplined, not punished. Surfing the internet. On the internet, students often use surfing the internet as a general term. For using the internet, surfing is riding a wave, and implies is that a person goes where the wave takes them with the limited control. In internet concept, this means that a person has no set direction and will simply follow links that attracts their attention. Surfing the internet is a leisure activity. When using the internet for a specific purpose, such as research or for work, it is encouraged to use the surf the language. Normally, it is use the internet, be on the internet, and simply be online. That is the difference between the internet and on surf the internet and on the internet. With a specific purpose is there, then we can use the on the internet or be online, and be on the internet, use the internet. Academic study and education. Now, students often use academic study when describing the areas important for young people. However, this language is imprecise. Studying is an action, but it is always better to describe the purpose of the action rather than the action itself. In this case, the purpose of actions is to become educated, and it is far more standard to use phrases such as young people should focus on their education rather than young people should focus on their academic study. Avoid unnecessary language fillers. Now, example taken from actual student essays are as follows. Nowadays, parents become more conscious about their children's growth than they were before in recent days. And deleting the underlined phrase will make the sentence more direct. The words and phrases before the comma add no meaning because they are far too vague for formal writing. Educated native speakers almost never use them in writing, and as such, they should rarely be used. And they are used in speaking in order to give the speaker time to think. So, common phrases that should be avoided include the following from my perception in recent days, as we all I guess one of the thing nowadays. Some people believe, from my point of view, I'm convinced as far as concerned. First of all, one of the things on one hand, on the other hand, indeed, after all, unnecessary language, that is duplication. Similarly, at other times, students will add information at the end of the sentences that is unnecessary as it is implied already and is a form of duplication. Like here are some examples are there. In all of these examples given above, underlined words can be removed as this information is already stated and implied. Avoid oral language. Now, in the writing, oral language that we are using, for example, not a mystery, a lot of get, steal happen. Now, these all words uh, in the writing, there is no sense out of them. Avoid some those before general forms. Now, in writing, requires students to speak about a topic in general form. As a result, the plural forms of the nouns without an article are widely used. However, many students incorrectly add some or those in front of the nouns to show that they are speaking in journal, which is a form of duplication. The sum and those is not required and should be deleted. Here are the examples that are underlined. Uh, General nouns should be avoided so that we can have the examples for that. Avoid exaggerations, like avoid just only even because academic writing is objective and facts should be stated without emphasis. Like here we can see with the examples, use precise language. Yeah, as a result, there is some language that should be avoided, like things. Things is too vague for academic writing, and it is far better to name the object and that you. Now, this all other thing is that, and their specific topics are there. The students have no idea how to write this kind of topics. Now, these includes of these things may enhance your essay in some of the little bit. This is the example that the in-process language should be avoided. Underline the words has to be avoided in this example. Positive language, negatives of the positives rather than negatives. In formal English, it is more acceptable to use the negatives of a positive word rather than a negative. For example, it is more common to describe someone as unsuccessful rather than a failure or unwise, rather than stupid, etc. So use positive language, not the negatives. Ensure that subjects are fully described. English is a language in is precise and literal, and therefore it is critical that the subjects are fully described. Otherwise, it will lead to confusion. It is often the case that subjects are very long because of the level of precise precision that is expected in the written English. Here are the examples. The first case, the subject is how many children there are, not the women themselves, and it's an appropriate subject for the task one response. Women who have the in the second in this case women themselves and has no reference to their numbers and is therefore inappropriate in the task that is focused the data. In most of the errors with subjects responses where the students routinely fail to add the number of or the amount of when they referring to data, and this is errors are most commonly to occur for the shortened subjects. Avoid describing the amount of attention topics receive. Often students describe topics as being hot or receiving a great deal of attention in their essays. This is irrelevant information because it adds nothing to the ideas of the essays, and the examiners already understands how much attention a topic is receiving in the media or society in general. Using such phrases marks the essay in non-academic and makes an essay feel like an prepared IELTS essay rather than a natural piece of writing. An even more serious problem with using phrases describing the amount of attention a topic is receiving is that students often use them when they are simply not true. Any essay that contain information that is factually incorrect will receive a very poor impression. Avoid leaving readers hanging. Now, occasionally students will write that there are advantages of a particular actions being taken, but fail to say what advantages actually are leaving the reader wondering what advantages are the writer is referring to. This distracts the reader and their focus will shift from the essay to trying to guess what the writer is trying to say. If an essay states that something has advantages, disadvantages, or benefits, it must be immediately followed by an explanation of what the author is referring to. This is the important idea generation. So for that, we have to think about the idea generation because most of the topics are very complex, and in practice during an exam the recommended planning time is only 2 minutes. However, complete idea development is important and student will become faster as they write more plans and develop more ideas. The intention of this part of the book is to guide students the opportunity to learn methods of developing plans rather than use every strategy in every essay that they write. So first one is identifying topic. Now, for example, education, working from home, arts, funding, etc. These are the topics. The simple titles of the essays in the table of contents of this book are a good example of identifying topic. Now, these are the topics in the uh, in the in the what we can say in the content list of the content we have seen that here like topic number one is there, that is education, media, society, environment, government and health, science and technology, law, women and family, tourism. Now these are the gap years, then artistic freedom, moral teaching and for children, memorization, uh, advertising, rewards and discipline, developing countries, financial management for the purpose of university. These are the common things that students have to learn about that how we can avoid this kind of or how we can get the idea about that particular topic and defining a topic. Now sometimes terms used for a topic have a single generally accepted meaning that most people will have the same definition for. However, in a small number of cases people will have different definitions for what a particular word means. Clarifying the topic will allow clear distinction to be made. Now, mostly it is not necessary to define the topic because the intended meaning is usually self-evident. For example, most reader will understand what working from home means. However, with a question such should libraries lend video games, movies, and a definition of a library is very useful. In the case of a library, most students will agree that a library is an appropriate place for movies and but video games are inappropriate. However, usually student cannot explain why video games should not be included. Uh, Movies and music are all entertainment and provided on a storage device. This the reason that they cannot give clear reasons is because they have not formed a clear distinction of what a library actually is. For example, if the definition of the library is that it is a place where books are made publicly available, it is clear that none of the music, movies, or video games belong to a library. However, if a library is defined as a place where access to information and learning is provided to the general public, then movies and music have a place in a library, but most video games do not. Education are an exception. It be used to test ideas, and a definition can be used to define the scope of what is being discussed in the essay. If an author defines education as formal education, then they are telling the reader that this is the scope of the essay. In this case, defining education is clarity. Many students will think that education is only what is learned in the school and formal education. However, education can also include concepts such as developing social skills and self-learning, etc. A definition can avoid confusion. There are three key points that a student that should be considered with definitions. Often definitions are not required. A definition in the essay prevents misunderstanding of what the author means when they use a word. Sometimes people have different definitions of the same word. A definition allows the writer to have a reference and clear logic. It is possible to argue whether an object satisfy the definition provided, and therefore give a clear reason for its inclusion or exclusion. Inclusion means in the favor of that definition, and exclusion mean with in not favoring that definition. This is important thing that student have to remember. Is the topic binary or grading? Many IELTS questions are presented to the reader as in either or, implying that the student must choose one choice over the other. If there are only two choices, then the question is a binary topic. Example includes buying a home, having a children, going to university, having a space program. In all these cases, there are only two choices because a person cannot have buy a house, half have children. Therefore, these topics are all binary. If there is a range of different possible outcomes, then the topic is graded. Examples are arts funding, talent, then female delinquency, becoming a good master of society, member of society. In all these cases, these are degrees. Governments can spend different amounts of money on the parts, so it is graded. People do not fit neatly into two groups, talented and non-talented. Therefore, this topic is also graded. The challenge in the IELTS question is that many questions are present as binary when they are really graded, and this causes students to use incorrect language. The typical question is like, some people believe that educated people will always earn much more money than a non-educated people. Discuss. Now, these questions implies is that people are either or educated or non-educated. Now, a binary topic rather than a graded topic. This can cause students to use inappropriate grammatical structure in the essay. Consider the following two sentences. If the Now, what do you mean by binary and graded? First of all, binary means if there is a range of different possible outcomes, then the topic is graded. This is for graded. But in all these cases, like buying a house, having a children, going to university, now these all cases there are only two choices because a person cannot buy a house or have a children. Therefore, these topics are binary. If there is a range of different possible outcomes, then the topic is graded. Here, the people do not. These are the cases are there. In that, government can spend different amount of money on the part, so it is graded. People do not fit neatly into two groups, talented and non-talented. Therefore, this topic is also graded. Okay, this is the example. The question implies that people are either or educated, not educated. These can cause the student the problem. If the writer considers the topic binary, they might write the following sentence: educated people will be able to convince employers that they have many skills, while non-educated people will have uh, trouble showing that they are skilled. If the writer considers the topic to be graded, the writer would probably express this differently. The more educated a person is, the more likely they will be able to convince the employers that they have many skills. A further consideration is that a student who does think about whether a topic is binary or not might ask deeper questions about the nature of the topic. For example, is this case a student might begin to ask if education is graded and has fine distincts, how do we measure what education really is? Is it a piece of paper showing formal achievement, or is it a learning obtained over time? Now, this is the thing that the student have to remember. I have put that screen over here so you can understand what is binary and graded topics. Now, pros and cons. Building a list of pros and cons is the standard method of generating new ideas, but is not the only method because students usually draw on personal experience and fail to consider the experience of other. When building a list of key ideas, student will usually ask the basic questions: what are the positive and negative elements? And these are the things that you can improve your idea generation. Have stakeholder be considered. This is the example for that for the different viewpoints. In the stockholders can be owners, customers, suppliers, employees, and neighbors. Dimension, time, place, and culture. Students can also broaden their ideas by not just considering their own personal experience but also the wider world. They can do this by considering different time, places, cultures, because what is true in one time, one place, or culture may not be the true for another. Consider time. Talent is important in modern society, but was less important 500 years ago. It is likely to be proven even more important in the culture. By considering different times, a student can generate more ideas. Place also is there, culture is there. Logical chain. So the body of the strong essay should be filled with ideas, explanations, and consequences. Ideas should be developed and taken into their logical conclusion. Sometimes the reason given for why something occurs is superficial, and there may be deeper reasons. Even when a reason for an event is explained, it is often possible to ask why again and dig down to the deeper underlying reason. Consider the following example is there that the why question is important for the deeper levels of understanding. We can build for that task one essays how we can form that simply by the organizing the information. Thinking time is there, writing the introduction is there, writing the body paragraph, and then body paragraph is necessary, and then finally conclusions are there. Now in this book there are several different topics is there. From that we can organize different thing. This is the end of the lecture. Thank you.